everybody. Thank you for joining
Hello.
us. So today we're talking about the ABCs of WikiTree.
Woo-hoo. This will be fun. There's a lot to cover.
A lot.
Sorry. Molly apparently really feels like she needs to be in on this one.
We'll do Molly for M.
M is for Molly.
Or D.
Z is for Molly.
That's a preview for what's coming up, you guys, for Z. Wait, Azure, we can't hear you.
Yeah, here I am.
Here's Azure.
So today is WikiTree Day. So exciting. So we're talking about the ABCs of WikiTree, and do you want me to share my screen for getting us started?
Sure. I've got mine set up too for when I'm doing some, so we can switch back and forth.
Okay.
Hi, Amy Sparks, who just popped in.
So the first letter is A, and it's very appropriate because we have a Hacktoberfest that ended and it's wrapping up today. So the A is for apps. And yay! So the WikiTree Apps project manages this page, and that's the Help Apps page where you can find all the wonderful apps that have been developed by this team. Just so many wonderful things that help us on
all of our volunteer developers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's so wonderful.
We have collaboration everywhere.
So
you can also
go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was just saying you can also get to those or a number of them from your profile, right?
Yes. If you go, so I'll go to my profile here. And then there's the Tree Apps tab here. It's just taking a second here to come up. So it's going to default to the most recent view that I had of my tree. But there are so many options available on this list of tree apps that you can pick from. And there's even a game.
I love that. And I love the name Fandoku.
It's wonderful how many great tools that have been developed for us. I can't talk about that enough, about how much they've made available for us and how it really helps us do the genealogy work. It actually saves us a lot of time.
Absolutely. So. Yeah. It makes my head spin sometimes.
Definitely.
All right. So that's A for y'all.
On to B or not to B. Let me share my screen here. All right. Oops. So B is for badges. For those of you who like the profile bling and collecting the badges and the stickers, this is for you. There's a bunch of different types of them. So there's membership badges. Every member type has a badge. Once you sign the honor code, you get the pretty green Wiki Genealogist one. There are star badges. You may not be aware of this, but you can give out most of these badges yourselves. Superstar can only be awarded by a leader, but if you see a family member or a cousin that's doing a good stuff, you can give them a family star or a community star if they're really doing stuff to improve the community. There's 3 different generous genealogist badges that you can award whenever you see someone, being a generous genealogist. We have achievement badges. Most of these are for winning different events. Adoption angels, when you first help someone connect to their family, their biological family, earn wings. There's a G to G6 badge after you earn so many points in G to G. And then just a few like the DNA tested one and GEDCOM and stuff like that. There's topical project badges. All the top level projects and a few others have these shiny badges for your profiles when you join a project. Those are the topical projects. And then these are functional projects. So like, cemeterists and mentors and moderators, mediators, sorcerers. They're a little bit more fun than the topical ones. I'm sure you're all familiar with the contribution badges that you get every month. There's the Club 100 and Club 1000 badges. And yeah, those badges. If you go to my WikiTree and then badges, you can see all of your badges. And depending on what you have, if you have the WikiTree browser extension or not, there's some extra things that you can do with badges. You can also see how many contributions you made each month there. So that's badges.
All right. I guess it's my turn, isn't it?
Yeah.
So C is for, oh, hang on. I got to share my screen. C is for cousins. And you can get to your cousins by going to your My WikiTree menu and clicking cousins. And here you're going to find a really fun tool. I've played with this a little bit, but really not enough because it's very rich compared to what I thought it was going to be.
For sure.
You have a list of all of your cousins out here, obviously. Because these are all on my watch list, I can see things about them that you won't be able to see, like their name and their profile ID. And the cool thing, though, is that you've got this WikiTree activity column. I can sort by that. And it shows me when people joined. First of all, this is my cousin, Dennis Folk. I've never met him, but I work alongside him a lot in our Folk family. And I can see how many edits he's made. I can see that he's been on WikiTree since 2017. And then all the other people that are on WikiTree that are my cousins, which is just incredible, because if I need to talk to somebody about somebody in particular, I can send them a message. I can see who our common ancestor is over here. I can also sort by that. So I can see all of the people who share Jacob Arney, who is my 5th great-grandfather. So I know how I'm related to most of these people out here. There's just you can also check your relationship to these folks out here. So I can see that this is my 4th cousin once removed. Again, we're related through Maria Magdalena Volk Arney. And on the same page, if I go up here, I can easily get to the connection finder, featured connections, my connections, which is another cool tool, and relationship finder. So this page under my WikiTree could come in very handy if you're trying to track down people who are related to you that are already members on WikiTree.
Cool. Molly, trying to teach stuff here. Oh, you want to talk about DNA? Okay. D is for DNA. Let me share this screen again. Sorry. Can you guys see that? Yeah.
It's coming.
All right, so I just wanted to share and show you how the DNA works on WikiTree. This is my biological profile because I'm adopted. So this is where adopted people can have 2 profiles so they can have their biological tree that connects to DNA. So WikiTree is a little different than a lot of sites. You don't upload the raw data from your DNA test. What you can do is enter what DNA tests that you've taken. And so when you do that, it will show up here on the right side of your profile. So you can see, here's me. I did a family tree DNA mtDNA test, and there's the FTDNA kit number. So you can find me there. You can also, I've got GEDmatch up here, Ancestry DNA. So that will all show up there based on what information you enter when you enter your test information. So you don't have to do GEDmatch. You can just enter that you did, the Ancestry DNA test. If you want people to be able to contact you, you can put a little more detail. Like I have my Ancestry member name here so people can find me. And then what that does is, depending on the test, it will auto-populate out to the relevant profiles and show you as a potential DNA connection for your ancestors. So for example, let me click on ancestors here. If we go to my great-grandfather, he was a handsome guy. But you can see here under DNA connections on his page, I'm listed here as a possible connection. So it's another way for you to find potential cousins, DNA cousins. DNA connections is through this part of the profile.
Done? Are you done?
I'm D for done.
Well, I'm E for edit. Would somebody mind clicking to share my screen so I don't give everybody the infinite tunnel?
Yep, we gotcha.
Thank you. Okay, so this is my great-grandfather's profile, and I thought it'd be great to share the edit screen from here. Now, I do have the WikiTree browser extension turned on. So some of the things you're going to see are there because of that extension. For example, this column over here contains all the connections because I have that option turned on in the browser extension. What do you guys think? Should I turn it off temporarily?
Maybe turn it off for this one.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. So let me do that real quick. You guys can see all the extensions I have loaded here. Okay, so that's off. Let's go back over here to Solomon. Now it looks kind of like what Aon was just showing you. You've got tons of DNA connections in the Fiscus family out here. But if I go into the edit screen, click on edit, you can see here where I can change all of the vital data about this person. And real quick, one of the questions that I see an awful lot is, how do I change the last name at birth? I can't change it on my the profiles when I need to. All you have to do is come in the edit screen and there's a little edit button, and it will allow you to go in and correct a last name at birth if you need to. I'm not going to do that. And when you're done with that, another little point of trivia is it's going to look like a merge on the change log because it technically is doing a merge from the original profile into the new last name. Just a little trivia for you there that will maybe help you sort some things out later. So anyway, I could change anything here about birth date, death date, location, so on and so forth. And then down here is the biography box, which is our freeform text box. We have a standard format. We always have a biography header. We always have a sources header. And we always have a references line here. That has to be there. We can add things like research notes. That's optional. It's a level 2 header. You'll notice that I have just 2 equal signs there to make it a level 2. And I like to add a timeline sometimes, which is a level 3, and that just indents it and makes it part of the biography. You'll notice within here that I have a little bit of difference in colors on my profile, which is kind of cool. And that's because I have the enhanced editor turned on. I'll turn it off real quick. And now it looks just black and white. So the handy thing about the advanced editor or enhanced editor is that if I accidentally forget to include a closing ref tag, it's going to look funny. It's going to make everything after it gray until it runs into another ref tag. So I don't really want to do that. I want to make sure that's there. It puts other links in green. If I took out, no, it's not going to do that here. If I had the formatting on this wrong, no, it's not going to do that either. Sorry. Let's try taking out these two. Yeah, there. If If I don't have the formatting correct on like a category statement, it's going to look wrong. I want it to match the other correct category statement. So it's just kind of a visual that lets you know that what you've entered is okay. And the funny thing is that now that I've used this for so long, if I have a syntax error in my edit screen, my brain just automatically goes to, oh, that's not right. I need to fix it. So that's really it. That's just the basics of the edit screen. You probably don't need to go too far into that anymore, but there will be time for questions if something there was puzzling.
Okay, so F is free space profile. So free space profiles are different from person profiles. They are anything pages. Connie Davis did a great presentation during the symposium about free space pages. And there are some links here of some example profiles. And this help page talks about how to create one. But all you have to do is go up to your add menu, where you also find the new person, to how to add a new person. But there's a link there for adding a new free space page. So we were just going to show some example free space pages. Julie has one here for a book that she has. It's Owen County Cousins. And so it's a source profile page, basically. And so we can use the WikiTree markup as a source on a profile, and it'll link back to this page. So you'd be able to see then all the profiles that are referencing this book. Another one that we wanted to share was, let's see here, thought I had that up, but let's grab this here, bring it over. Here's some example of free space profiles. So here's even more free space profiles that you can look at for different ideas like family heirlooms, family events, businesses, books and poems. Lots of great ideas for how to use a free space page. And one of the first ones that was done was by Chris Whitten, of course. And that's for a sample family reunion page, which is a really great idea for how to use a free space profile. Just really great ideas for what you can do there. There's a space there for adding memories. So that is F for free space.
Why? Stop. Molly.
Oh,
Sorry.
I did want to say, I do have the WikiTree browser extension turned on, and there is a new option that Aon had asked for that we have now, and it's for seeing a random space page. That's really a lot of fun to see some more example free space profiles.
Yeah, because there's so many out there, and there's some that you would just never ever find without the random space page.
So that's
I
really
can't wait to go play with that. I haven't gotten to use it yet.
Molly. Goodness. All right. I have a G for G2G. This is our genealogist to genealogist forum. If you haven't been here before, hopefully you have. I just wanted to show you a few different ways of looking at things here. If in the URL up here, see how it just is G2G? That just brings you to this recent questions and answers. There's different ways that you can look at it though. So you can click on questions and it'll give you, well, first, if it's highlighted in yellow, those are kind of posts that we pin to the top that are just relevant for important things that are going on. There's usually one up here with a calendar for what's happening the current month around WikiTree. So those, if you see something highlighted in yellow, it's probably good to take a look at it and see what we're talking about. But when you click on questions, it will give you the most recent questions in order of the most recent questions. So if you just want to see questions, you can look at it that way. There's also a button up here for recent activity, and there's one down here at the bottom that shows you the most recent activity. So if you just want to see everything that's happening, you can do recent activity and scroll through it that way. There's also different categories. The treehouse is sort of like the hodgepodge of everything that doesn't fit into another category. Appreciation, that's where like the wonderful WikiTree posts are. Genealogy help, if you are looking for help on a brick wall or for research or lookups or anything like that, that would be genealogy help. There's one for photos. There's one for policy and style, so questions about our policies on things or style guidelines are there. Requests for project volunteers, that's where projects can request help for different things with their projects. WikiTree help is for things specifically related to WikiTree. If you're having an issue, question about merging or things like that, that's there. And then WikiTree tech, this is if you have a tech problem, you can post it there. So if you're really interested in just seeing who needs help, you can click on that category and see what people are looking for help with. We also have a G2G help page. I don't know if a lot of people know that's there, but it has our discussion rules, which are good to read through just so you're kind of aware of the expectations there. This explains the categories that I was just talking about. There's tags. This explains how the tags work. And we do have moderators who just keep an eye out in G2G. Sometimes things get flagged and the moderators are there to help take care of that. And then since we're here, I just want to show one quick thing. Did you know that you can kind of keep a list of favorite G2G questions? So there's this little plus sign. You click on that and it'll turn blue. And then you go to My Activity. And this shows you everything about you on G2G. And then you can go to My Favorites and it stores, you can find those there. And then if you're done with them in your list, you just unclick that and it'll take it off.
Super handy.
Very nice. And I just want to make a note that I've linked in the chat and pinned it to the top, the link to the WikiTree Tour space page so that it has all the links that we're talking about today.
Terrific. And next up is help. Help! We see people screaming for help sometimes in G2G, so it's a good transition here. This is the main category for the WikiTree help pages. And you can get there just by clicking on the help menu. It'll bring you right here. Also on the help menu, we have a number of other items to get you help. There's the accessibility angels, which was intentional, my vocabulary flew out the window a half an hour ago, which was set up to help people with visual disabilities, but it has expanded, and now people who have other issues with using technology or difficulties using a computer or whatever can sometimes get help getting their research entered into WikiTree. And a number of other things, adoption angels, the calendar, category usage, and so on and so forth. You'll have to go and explore. We always advocate for exploring the menus. There's so much out here. But if we go back to the main WikiTree help category, I wanted to point out specifically these 3 links at the top. They're full of information to help you learn how to use WikiTree and find help if you need it. So please visit this page from the help menu. Use WikiTree about page. Will give you our whole mission, why we're here, what we're trying to do. You can click on how to use WikiTree, which will give you, we have a nice video here that talks about, just the basic concept of a single family tree, among other getting started and other links that will help you. And then the last one is my favorite, because I was involved in getting this put up here, but it's been very helpful for new members. The new member how-to tutorials, and it's a 6-part walkthrough of the different pieces of WikiTree. So if you've never been out here, even if you've been on WikiTree for years, go take a look at this, because I guarantee you're going to find something that you haven't seen before. I did when we were putting this together, and I was shocked. I'm like, oh, well, I never knew how that worked. So just take a look. It's a lot of fun to go out and look through these and work your way through them. You never know what you might find. But always go to the help menu, or the help menu, category WikiTree help, and you'll find different categories of help at the top, and down at the bottom you'll find some specific help pages. So oh, I almost forgot this. You can do a help search too. Let's go there real quick. And you can put any phrase in here. Let's do duplicates. And that's going to show me any help page that talks about duplicate profiles. So it's if you can't remember what the page was called, this is a great place to go to try and narrow it down. I'm done.
Okay. So I is for invitations. So inviting family members to WikiTree is what this is all about. We want to try to get them brought in and show them how they can connect to the big tree. So all you have to do is go up to the add menu again, and it's right there, add invitations. And so if you want to invite somebody to WikiTree, you can just create their profile. And when you do that, you can put in their email address and add a little message to them, inviting them to WikiTree. It's really a great little option to do that. So you can add an unrelated person, or you can add a family member to your tree and do it that way. So this talks all about that. And again, that's linked on the WikiTree Tours page. And that's I for invitations.
All right. Let's do J for, oops, it's gone. Join a project, it's right there. So WikiTree has all kinds of different projects that are a great way for you to get involved in the community, to find help with research in different countries or in different topics, and just really be able to get engaged. If you go to the Find drop-down menu and go to Projects, that will take you to this page. It's probably also in the Help menu under Projects. Maybe you can get to it that way too. That's probably the easiest to find. And then Projects. And we have varying degrees of projects. So there's top level projects, and then there's sub projects, and then there's teams. And the help page here mostly is showing you the top level projects. There's some sub projects, but mostly it's top level. So if you don't see something you're looking for here, it may be a sub project of one of these other projects. But we have topical projects. So we have all of these geographical projects for all these different countries. And then we have themed projects. So like the U.S. Black Heritage Project, we have disasters, cemeteries, Magna Carta, Native Americans, notables. So there's a lot of different topical ones if you have any kind of interest. A lot of people like to work on notables. If you want to do a one name or a one place study, you can. So there's just a lot of topical projects that you can join in on. We have functional projects, which these require you to function in some way on WikiTree. There's usually some kind of time requirement involved, so there's a little bit more to do here than in a topical project where you can kind of work in your own speed. So we have a lot of different ones. Julie mentioned the accessibility angels. We have adoption angels who help people who are trying to find biological family. Ambassadors, they are out sharing the WikiTree love on social media, doing presentations, things like that. Arborists tend to clean up the duplicate profiles in the tree. Cemeterists, they're doing photographing and building up cemetery free space pages and profiles there. Connectors, they like to try and get people connected to the big tree. Data doctors, they do a lot of cleanup on profiles. The DNA project does a lot of different things. Greeters, every time someone joins WikiTree, they get greeted by an actual person. That's the Greeters project. Integrators do a lot of work in G2G. Mentors help members just be comfortable with WikiTree and be successful there. Profile improvement, clean up profiles. Rangers help us keep an eye on things around the tree. They're watching for vandalism and spammers, basically. Templates, they make us great stickers and templates and all that fun stuff. Tree huggers, they're just there to hug you, thank you, and make you feel like you're doing a good job. And then we have an apps project, so if you like to develop apps, that would be a project for you. So they're all listed here. It shows you who the project leader is, coordinators.
We're not seeing the project. We're not seeing the help projects page.
Oh, that's weird. Let me go find it again. Here.
Projects are just a really great way to.
I just said all that stuff, and you guys didn't tell me that we weren't looking at the right page.
Sorry.
So here's the help projects page.
We thought you were just doing it from memory.
I probably maybe could. Anyway, here's all the projects.
There are so many, and it's such a great way to really learn more about WikiTree. Your other project members will help you. Mm-hmm. Kind of it helps with that learning curve.
Absolutely. And you get in with a group of people who are interested in the same thing you're interested in, and it's really great to get involved in the community.
But you can click on a project and it'll take you to their project page, and all of these have a section on how to join. If there's any project requirements, they'd be there, and then it'll tell you what you can do to join that project. It's really a great way to learn WikiTree and get engaged, and find your little niche in the community, which makes it all the better.
So let's move on to K, which means know what's going on. So I'm going to share my infinite talent. Sorry, my K9 assistants had to come join us. They were going to tear the door down. So they're in here with me, making things a little noisier. So let's go over here. Know what's going on. It's not too hard to do that on WikiTree. You just have to know where to look. So I'm going to go to the help menu and the G2G forum. And as Aowen mentioned a while ago, there's always going to be a what's happening around WikiTree post in here. And that will take you to the current month. And it will show you day by day what's going on, day by day, week by week. And if you don't see a link on here yet for the event that you're interested in, be patient, because it'll get added as that event gets set up. For example, we have a Friday date night coming up on November 17th. I just haven't set it up yet, but that link will show up when I'm ready for that. You can always page between these calendar items by going down to the bottom and clicking the previous month.
Somebody needs to make the December one.
Or November. Well, it's not December yet. Let's not rush things.
I know. People like having a month out in advance, though.
I know.
I'm here to accommodate.
And a great way to find these, if you're not familiar with the tags in G2G, they're super handy. If I click on the WikiTree calendar tag, then I get all of the WikiTree calendar items. And they're going to be listed in descending date order. So I guess Aowen put the November one up in September. Look at that. She was way ahead of the game.
It was.
So you can scroll back through previous calendar items. I don't know why this is in the calendar. Oh, family calendar tree app. That's right. Stephen put that up. So you can scroll back and see what has gone on before if you're interested, or if you're looking for something and you want to get linked to it. So that's just a good way to know what's happening. We've had a lot happen in the last couple months. So That was
All
quick.
right. And so next is list, L for list. So we just want to talk about the family list app. So this enables you to see more of a person's ancestors and descendants than anywhere else on WikiTree. Up to 29 generations all on one page. So if you just go to the menu on for your WikiTree ID, so mine's Robinson 27225, Julie's would be Fiscus 32. It's going to be right next to my WikiTree. There's a link there for family list, and that'll show you your family list. It's really great. You can dial it down to a certain number of generations. You can see if you want to see both ancestors and descendants with siblings or without the siblings of the ancestors. And then you can have a sort. So it's a really great app. Go ahead and check that out. There's always different ways to view your information on WikiTree, and this is just another great way to do that.
Very cool.
So that was L for lists.
Next, we're going to move on to one of my favorite parts of WikiTree, merges. So to get there, go up to Find Pending Merges. This screen is a little confusing to some people, I think, because of all the different options we have up here. When you first come in, it gives you a list of all the merges that are waiting on WikiTree, and they're waiting for action. So you can see if there's a yellow link here, it means that you can go ahead and complete it because it's defaulted to approved. So if it's been sitting there for 30 days or 2 profile managers have approved it, it's going to have the yellow link. Now, I'm going to give you a little warning. Just because this yellow link is here doesn't mean you should put the merge through. First, you want to go look at it, and you want to make sure that the data actually syncs up. This one, I don't know. We have to look for sources. Are there sources to determine whether she was born in New York or Pennsylvania? She doesn't have a husband over here, but she is shown with the same parents. So just, if you get to something like this, and it's not clear, don't put the merge through until you're absolutely certain it's the same person, because merges cannot be undone. So we have to be very careful about that. Back to the pending merge screen, you have some other options. You could look at just your watch list to see if you have any pending merges on your very own watch list. I don't have any, yay. You could look at the ones that you initiated, and say you were looking through a list of profiles and you just happened to see 2 that were the same. You can propose a merge even if you're not involved with those profiles. And I have a number of those out here that I'm waiting on other people to act on. If they haven't acted on them, I can go put them through if I'm sure that they're the same. I can see if there's any out there that people have proposed that I need to work on. I don't have any right now, which is awesome. You can also check for unmerged matches. Now, this is something that the arborists primarily work on. And these might be profiles that somebody thinks that they're a match, but they can't prove it yet. And so they've put them into a temporary status called unmerged match. And they need to have research done before the merges are put through. And finally, you can look at all rejected matches. And this is actually good to look at sometimes, because occasionally people will create a profile and they'll see a duplicate in the list that comes up, and they might, it can be a little confusing sometimes if you're new to this, and they'll click on a rejected match when it's actually a match. So it might be good to go through your list of rejected matches every once in a while to make sure that it hasn't accidentally been set as a rejected match. So
and we're down to 20 minutes left on our live cast.
Okay.
Super.
Stop my screen.
Sorry.
Okay.
I just wanted to mention because we still have
why you're here.
12 letters to go.
And totally doable. Can you guys see the navigation homepage?
Yes.
All right, this is your navigation homepage. You can get to it from your My WikiTree drop-down menu right here, nav homepage. I'll show in a sec, but this is customizable in certain ways. There are some things you can have it show or not show, just depending on your preferences. For me, it shows my badges, and then the G2G discussion feed with the tags that I follow, they all show up right here on my navigation homepage for me. There's a scratch pad. Abby made this really cute little elf for me.
That is adorable.
I just have stored there. But you can keep notes and stuff there. Links, a to-do list. I have the family activity feed, so it gives me that feed here on my homepage. The Wiki Genealogy feed, and then any thank yous, I get those on this page too. So if you go to settings under My WikiTree, there's a section for navigation homepage. So you can pick and choose from here different things that you want to have it show. Like, you don't have to have your badges show. You don't have to have a scratch pad. You can have a family tree. It makes a cute little tree with 3 generations of your tree. You can kind of edit the time frame here if you want these different feeds on your homepage. How many days back you want, and then you just want to make sure that you save the settings, and you can have whatever works for you. That's the navigation homepage.
Yeah, and that's my start page when I open a browser window.
Yeah.
All right.
Who has
and so next is O for orphaned profiles. So in orphan profiles, it's not a bad thing. I just want to mention that. It just means it doesn't have a profile manager. And it might be like, for me, I'm working a cemetery with over 6,000 profiles that will need to be created. And I'm not going to manage all of those in addition to my own family. So when I create the profile, I go ahead and orphan it so that if a family member comes along, they can go ahead and become a manager for that. But if you want to find profiles in your family that are orphaned, all you have to do is go to your profile ID menu here and click Orphaned Family. And so that'll show you any profiles in your family tree that are orphaned. And there we go.
Orphaned profile.
And so they're
highlighted. Oh, sorry.
They're highlighted in yellow, the ones that are orphaned. So you can go out then and you can then adopt the profile if you like. That's what that little link there is. So now it shows me as being the profile manager.
Awesome.
So that's nice. Pretty good, easy stuff. But the help page talks more about that. If you want to kind of learn more about that, and why would you want to adopt? How do you find them? And then after adopting orphans. All right, so that's O for orphaned.
Awesome. Let's go to P for problems and questions. The main point with this is that I want everybody to know this button is here. Some people may not have noticed it yet. It's kind of new. So you go to any profile, and down here in the little banner where it shows who the profile manager is, you have a problems and questions button. There's a number of pieces of information you can get to from here. First of all, if you have...
We got out of order a little bit.
We did?
Yeah, P was for problems with members.
That's not what I have.
Questions.
I'm so sorry. You're absolutely right. Well, should I finish this and then go back to P?
Go for it.
Okay, I'm so sorry that I was trying to rush and it's all my fault. I'm sorry, Aowen. I stepped on Aowen's elf toes. All right. So anyway, if you go in here, you've got privacy problems. If it's a profile that should not be out there, you can go to this link to delete it if you're the profile manager. If not, you'll need to work with info@wikitree.com, which is another option on here. If there's a mistake and or missing content, it gives you advice on editing the profile or leaving a public comment. If it's a duplicate, it takes you to the merges and matches for the particular profile you're on so that you can compare the two. You can search our help pages or ask a question in G2G. And if I click on this button, it will open a screen and it will pre-fill the ID for this profile and add the 2 surnames connected with it so that when I post my question, the people who are interested in this information will get notified of it in their activity feed newsletter. The same thing will happen if I go to ask a tech question. It'll populate the question with bugs so that Jamie will see it.
And I think it goes to the right category too.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. And if it just so happens that you're struggling to work with somebody on WikiTree, we have an option called Problems with Members, and I think we'll talk a little bit more about that later. So I'll be done with Q, so we can go back to P now.
Which is Problems with Members.
Oh, that's you?
Yeah.
No, it's not. Oh, it is.
All right.
I guess you're talking about that.
So this is our Problems with Members process, which sounds scary. It's not. It's actually a really great system that mostly Chris developed to help us be able to have resolutions, because conflict in a collaborative site like WikiTree is just inevitable. It's going to happen. So this is the page that you want to bookmark, and you want to come here if you're having an issue with another member on WikiTree. So if another WikiTreeer has angered you or annoyed you, is someone causing problems or doing damage to our tree, this is the page you want to come and start from. And I suggest you do it anytime you have a problem, because we have this really great kind of flow chart that will help you get to the right action for you to take. So you just come here, answer the questions. So if it's a spammer or a vandal, you're going to go to 1A. If it's not, then you're going to keep going to question 2, and so on and so forth. This is going to lead you to do some different things. Like, it might encourage you to contact the member yourself. It might encourage you to report the vandalism, or you might end up submitting a mentor intervention request, which is really great, because then that lets us get help to the member that might need it.
And that link is also available on the help menu, so you can always find it if you forget to bookmark it.
And that's P for Problems with Members.
All right, and next we have R for research notes. I love research notes. So research notes, as Julie pointed out earlier, is a second level heading in a profile. And it gives you a chance to kind of outline if there's common mistakes or myths with this profile, or maybe there's a disputed child. So it gives you a chance to kind of outline the argument for or against something. And then it's another chance or way to collaborate with other members on a profile. So this page talks all about how to add the research notes and kind of how to go about doing that. And also it shows you, if you put 4 tildes in there, that's what's highlighted on the screen there, it actually signs your name and dates it for that section, so that somebody can see when that research note was left, basically, and by who, so they can contact you if they want to talk to you further about it. So that's research notes for R.
All right. S is for Saturday Roundup. So this is pretty much every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern, which is now 3 p.m. UTC. We have this Saturday Roundup LiveCast with Mags and Sarah, Greg, Betsy. Sometimes Azure joins, sometimes I join. And it's just a really great hour where we kind of recap the week. So they go through things like the question of the week and what people answered, the profiles of the week, and kind of look at those profiles, the photos of the month. Betsy has a tip of the week. There's usually a Celebrate Your Ancestors post that we talk about. And so it's just a fun recap of the week. Definitely if you have free time on Saturday, I would encourage you to check it out. Julie talked about tags and G2G. This one is Saturday Roundup. So you can click there. It'll take you to all the Saturday Roundup LiveCast. Betsy does a post in G2G every week, just telling what the different topics are, and a link to the YouTube videos. So definitely worth the time if you have it. And that is S for Saturday Roundup.
And T is for thank yous, which are really a big thing on WikiTree.
I love this part of WikiTree.
I do too. I don't click them often enough that I've started trying to focus on that a little bit more. There's of course a help page that explains our thank you system, why we have it, because we're just nice people here and we want people to focus on being nice to each other. So that's a good way to do that. One of the cool things is that we have something called Treetops, and you can go in there and see who was the most appreciated. You can see all the people out here who have the most thank yous. Susan Lorson, you will see her everywhere in G2G. She has a lot of thank yous out there. And then David and of course Pip. David and Pip are everywhere too. To find your own, go up to your profile. Your My WikiTree menu. Go down here to look for thank yous. And you'll see looks like a change log, a feed that shows you everybody who's thanked you for something that you did, which is kind of, if you're having a bad day, go check your thank you feed. It'll make you feel better.
Yes.
So that's
right.
T for thank yous.
So U for unconnected. So what are unconnected profiles? They are profiles that aren't yet connected to the main global family tree that we have on WikiTree. And so we have 3 times a year, we have a connection, a connect-a-thon that we do, trying to connect profiles to the main tree. So that's a great opportunity for you to focus on maybe your tree or a friend's tree, or if you're in a project, you can get them connected, and you can go out and find unconnected profiles. I think, let's see, I gotta downsize my screen a little bit here. Let's see, it's on find and then unconnected people. So from the find menu, click on unconnected people, and it will show you unconnected profiles on your watch list. So that's U for unconnected.
All right, then we have V for volunteers needed. So this is a great help page. The easiest way to get to it really is from the help category. It's under V for volunteers. And when I do that, I can't do it that way. Hang on. Sorry, I am not used to screen sharing. It's annoying. I apologize.
It's awkward. Screen sharing's awkward.
So this is the volunteers needed page, and basically it's just a list of all kinds of different ways to get involved that you may or may not have thought about, like adopting an orphan. A lot of the stuff we've already talked about today: data doctors, being an arborist, checking the calendar, sorcerers, adoption angels, giving a compliment, offering to do lookups, offering to do translations, notables, breaking brick walls, repairing broken connections, creating needed profiles. We have a lot of different maintenance categories that are kind of good places to just jump in and work on. Like one name studies, start a project. You can start a project at any time. It's called a free space project. On that help project page that I showed you, it has a link that explains how you can do that. And there's one right here too under this that says starting a project. So you can do that. Bio builders, there's just so many ways that you can be involved. And so if you're feeling like you want something to do, come check out this page and you will definitely be able to find something. That's a V for volunteers needed.
And now we're going to W for watch list. I'm going to my WikiTree again, down to watch list. That's going to show me a list of all the profiles on my watch list. And I'm telling on myself here a little because look at that big yellow banner on my page. It's telling me I have a few extra profiles on my watch list. I need to try and trim it down. So if you pop in here and you see this yellow banner on your page, take a look. And if you are over about 10,000 profiles, please try not to let it get that big. But if you do let it get that big by accident, email info@wikitree.com and ask the team for help reducing your watch list. We can help you with that. So don't let yourself get in over your head. You're going to get a lot of emails, probably some merge requests and so on and so forth. But this page, again, is another one that's just full of information. You can also check your free space profiles. I've got a bunch of them because I'm involved in a number of projects. And then I've done some one-name studies. But back over here, one of my favorite things to do here is to go to my watch list and go to the longest, the earliest edit date. So it reminds me to come in here and look at these profiles and go do some work on them. Some of these are set to unlisted, and it's likely that some of these people are now deceased, and I should work on them and get the date of death entered. I have a few people. Yeah. So I like to work for my watch list like that, but you can also get to an activity feed for profiles on your watch list. You can look at the anniversaries on your watch list.
I'm going to speed you up just a little bit.
Okay. And then just explore all the other buttons that are up here so that you can learn what this page is for. Main thing is, know it's there, go and look at it so that you don't go over the limit and find yourself in a hole.
So why is you? You are our members. It's our community. You are WikiTree. So that was when I first came to WikiTree. That's what really impressed me so much, was the community of generous genealogists that are out there, just willing to help out. And like we have said before, join a project, get involved in the community. You'll learn so much and grow as a genealogist. So that's why for you.
And then last but not least, it's a stretch, but Z is for surname. Because I remembered that this really actually great page exists. It's under the My WikiTree drop-down menu. It's surnames or surnames. And basically for each of your surnames, it gives you this really cool set of links. So you can go find all the link hop profiles, the link hop profiles in your watch list, the ones that have had activity in the past week, G2G posts for that name, genealogists who are following that name, DNA connections, suggestions from WikiTree Plus, orphan link hop profiles, unconnected, unsourced. It's an easy link to start a name study or a DNA project or space pages for these different things. You can find matches for link hops in your watch list, browse the pending link hop merges. And so it does this for each of the different surnames. So it's like some really great links if you want to really focus in on one of your surnames.
That was great. I love it.
And nobody even noticed that we jumped over X.
No. X was for excluded.
Excluded. We excluded X. We did have a few questions. I think we may have answered some of them, but I'll run. We only have a few minutes left, so let me just run through these kind of quick. Murray Strom wanted to know how to do. There are supposed to be some places for communicating with people interested in the same geographic area, supposedly using Discord. And Murray, I think you will find the answer to that by going to the project pages. You'll find all the regions for different projects. And for example, if you're looking for a particular state in the United States, you'll go to the United States project.
He had another comment. I think he said Sweden, England, and Scotland.
Okay,
and
yeah.
Those countries all have separate Discord servers. So like Julie said, you would want to go through the projects to be able to get to those.
Right. And you can contact the leaders of those projects and they'll get you added to the project and get you onto whatever form of communication they use. And a lot of them do use Discord. And Veg Beauty wanted to know, what if you have a problem with an ancestor? This is when we were talking about problems with members. That's perfect. You can, if you're having problem with an ancestor, use that problems questions button, click on it and go out to G2G and ask a question out there. You might just be surprised who can find information for you. We have a lot of people that watch for stuff like that. And then she had another question about, should you thank people multiple times if they've done a lot of work on one of your parts of your family? Absolutely. You can click thank you as many times as you want.
Or just the one you appreciate the most. It's really up to you. Yeah.
And then Murray had another question about DNA, and I saw that somebody else answered it. Azure or Aowen must have put up the link to the DNA help page. So we couldn't really go deep into something like that in this presentation, but there is help out there. And again, asking G2G and just tag it with DNA.
And that's your WikiTree A to Z. Minus X.
We almost made it in an hour.
So close. So close.
So close.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Next up on the schedule, of course, is the anniversary toast. So join us.
And join us. Bring the glass to help us toast.
Oh, I gotta go get my beverage.
All right. We'll see everybody at the toast. Bye.
Bye.